Yo, what is up? So today we're going over this video is going to be about the biggest weakness that is holding you back. So we're going to go over laziness, going back to sleep, and wasting time. Now, as much as this video is targeted at you, it's mainly going to be speaking about my biggest weaknesses, right? The biggest weaknesses that is personally holding me back and anyone like me back, right? So let me start at the as much as I start with laziness, going back to sleep is like a huge problem that I'm having right now. Like it's a thing of I wake up because what I've done is that I've set up my alarm so that my phone is on the desk away from my bed. So the idea is that when the alarm goes off, I need to physically leave my bed to switch off the phone. But an issue that I've developed is that I'll switch off the alarm and get back into bed. And then I'll end up falling asleep and then I'll oversleep since I'm in round two of sleep, right? And the issue with that is that you lose a lot of time for no real reason because it's like a thing of you'll get up, you'll be up. It's very much just about staying out of bed, and then you go to sleep, and then you wake up like 2, 3 hours later. You've lost 2, 3 hours of the day because remember you planned to wake up when you got out of bed, and now you're just completely off of when you wanted to be up. You lose the time depending on like what you're doing. It might just mess, like for me, it might make it so that I'm leaving for school later than I wanted to, or like if it's a particularly like late day, maybe I wanted to do things, in the morning before leaving for school, but now because of that, I just have to leave for school straight. Like it really puts a stopgap on your day. It really just messes up the start of your day because if there are things you wanted to do in the morning, then you can no longer do them in the morning. You either need to push them back, or if you don't have time, then it's just not gonna happen. So yeah, going back to sleep, horrible weakness, bro. It's I won't say it's ruining you, but it's very much like slowing you down in a way that's very avoidable. Just not going back to sleep. Laziness is a huge thing. It's the bane of everyone. Laziness, just not doing what you know you're supposed to do purely for the sake of doing what is commonly and tends to be low long term reward activities, right? So it's like a thing of instead of working on an assignment, I'm just going to watch a show. Instead of studying, I'm just going to read manga. Instead of going to work out, I'd rather stay home and watch something while eating food. Instead of spending time making a meal, I'd rather just press a few buttons and order something, spend money to have some random food brought to me. Like being lazy has genuinely no benefits. There's no benefits to being lazy. It only works to detriment you. It only works to like have you spending more money, having you slowing down in your goals, if not even moving on them at all. You know, pushing you back in some of your goals. Like being lazy has no benefits and is definitely a weakness that you should work to minimize, if not completely eliminate. Right? I'm not to say that you can't have any recreational activities in your life, just to say they need to be more structured than just how you feel. It has to be it's more beneficial for you to do something like, maybe I have 1, 2 hours of just recreation. And then outside of those 2 hours, I should be working on this. I should be working on this. Having a schedule makes life easier. Like a timetable for the day means that you know when things should be happening, and there's less confusion on what you should be doing now, which can minimize how much time just how much leeway you have to just like push things off, right? Similar to laziness, if not directly linked to it, is wasting time. I and probably you spend a lot of time doing what's really amounts to nothing. Like scrolling on TikTok. Like realistically, what are you doing scrolling on TikTok? You're just scrolling, you're just doing nothing. You're just consuming content, consuming a bunch of short form content that like once you're done, you probably don't even remember what most of what you've consumed. Um, Watching shows for the purpose of not doing something else. You know, The big thing, I won't even lie, the big thing is very much just like TikTok and sometimes YouTube. YouTube can also serve, like, you just end up watching videos for the sake of not starting work. But TikTok is the worst, I would say. The worst waste of time, purely because, one, it's not like you're watching informational TikToks all the time. You know, YouTube, because it's longer form, maybe you spent all your time watching some long form content, you know, some actually educational things, you know, maybe a video on working out, maybe a video on nutrition, maybe a video on just mindset in general, maybe a video on discipline, you know, maybe you're watching a video on something that's actually helpful. Whereas TikTok, you're just scrolling, bro. Like, you might start off at something positive, like maybe there's some specific question you need to answer, but after a while you're just scrolling and it's just a bunch of memes, it's a bunch of random videos, you know. There's even like the section of TikTok where once you get there, all the comments are like, I've been scrolling too long, you know, this is not what I searched for at the beginning. So TikTok, Instagram, Reels, if you really like that into the scrolling, was it the scrolling culture, YouTube Shorts, you know, Snapchat, all that, it's very much just a waste of time. Like, you've probably, I know for me, there's been a few times where I've spent the entire Saturday just scrolling. And you know, you come to awareness at like 5 and you've been scrolling since like 12. And you're like, what am I doing, bro? I genuinely wasted my entire day doing what amounts to nothing. Like, not even in a, oh, you know, you got to be productive all the time and stuff. Just in general, like life enjoyment. How can something be worthwhile if you don't even remember most of it? You know, you don't like genuinely remember any of the videos that you scrolled through. You might remember like some repeat memes or something that was particularly funny, but everything in between is just gone. And for what? Like, you've missed out on an entire day for no actual reason, for nothing, just purely sinking time, wasting time. And time is very much the only asset that you won't get back. You know, things like money you can make back. Um, Material things you can get back. But the only thing that we as humans don't get back is the time we have. You know, the time that we could be using to progress towards our goals, the time we could be using to spend time with friends, spend time with family, you know, have fulfilling lives. That time, we're just sinking it away on our phone, not even doing anything even vaguely important or fulfilling, just scrolling like for hours on a phone, 30, less than 30-second videos, 10-second videos, scroll, just for the sake of what? Not remembering basically any of it at the end. Like, this is very much just wasting time, very much just not worth it, very much only a detriment towards your life. So yeah, thanks for watching the video. You know, that's basically all in terms of the biggest weaknesses. You know, going back to sleep, wasting time, being lazy. You know, do everything you can to minimize these effects, or if not completely eradicate them from your life. And I promise you, your life will get progressively better when you just use your time better, and you just give yourself access to more time. So yeah, thanks for watching the video. You know, if you enjoyed it and it helped you in some way or another, leave a like. If you want to say something, leave a comment. Um, Share the video with Hamza Ahmed. You know, share the video. Uh, Subscribe for more. Thanks for watching. Peace.